Hi everyone, Kid Down here, and how about we watch a death battle? Mewtwo versus Shadow. Of course, as always, in the description there's a link to the original video. If you haven't watched it, go do so, then you come back here, watch this video, or hey, if you want to stick around, watch some of my reviews, because, well, those videos actually take effort. But anyways, this battle, I really want Mewtwo to win. I mean, and of course I have my amiibo here because these death battle reactions are somewhat of an excuse for me to show off my amiibos more or less, but yeah. I want Mewtwo to win because if any of you see the first video I ever posted, which was my top 10 favorite Pokemon, Mewtwo was number 9 on that list. I really like Mewtwo, and I want him to beat Shadow because Shadow already had a chance against Vegeta and lost, where I'm not the biggest fan of Death Battle bringing back combatants. I mean, okay, I didn't mind with Charizard because, hey, the second time that specifically read Charizard, not just the idea of Charizard, and, well, didn't mind Leonardo because he won the Ninja Turtles Battle Royale, so that felt like more of a qualifier before he fought Zets, but, yeah, I'm not that huge a fan when they bring back characters. I mean, I was kind of mad over Batman vs. Captain America, not the results, just the fact that it happened, because one, Batman already had his chance, and two, I really wanted Captain America to fight Guile. Like, that was my most wanted battle before Batman vs. Captain America happened, so I'm still a little salty over that. Yeah, I know One Man Melee recently did Captain America vs. Guile, but that's not good enough. It's not good enough. But with this, yeah, like some of you may remember what I said back in my original top 10 favorite death battles, I do not give a shit about Shadow. Like, when it comes to Sonic here, there's like a totem pole of levels I care about. Top is Sonic and Eggman, then Tails and Knuckles, then Amy and Shadow, then everyone from the video games who's not big, then everyone from, like, the comics, cartoons, you know, any other characters who are not in the video games, except, and then there's Big. Big is at the bottom, so, yeah. Though, even though I want Mewtwo to win, I don't know if he will, because even with the Mega Forms, I don't know if he can match Super Shadow, so, it seems that Pokemon is not the best series to compare anyone against, because Pikachu lost to Blanca, Charizard lost to Greymon, and I have a feeling Mewtwo's going to lose to Shadow. If Mewtwo wins, I'll be happy, but it seems like Pokemon are not good matchups for anyone other than Pokemon, so let's get into this. Okay, let's see how this goes.
With Death Battle, our combatants are always extraordinary in one way or another, whether they're a superhero or a plumber.
But these two are literally built to show up the rest of their kind. Mewtwo, the genetically engineered Pokemon.
And Shadow the Hedgehog, the ultimate life form.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And
yeah,
it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Probably still would prefer anyone other than a previous combatant, but
a brilliant scientist named Dr. Fuji was working to create a brand new life form which would change the world.
That's great and all, but he had something else in mind.
Fuji hoped his experiments would help him discover a way to resurrect the person he cherished most, his deceased daughter, Amber.
With unlimited resources funded by
Why was that cut out of the
he figured
American
out how
version?
to clone his daughter's
Damn you four
ball
kids.
of consciousness. Because science!
But before he could finish, he had to create the most powerful Pokemon, a clone of the legendary Mew.
And he named him Mewtwo.
Yeah, Fuji wasn't very creative when it comes to naming, but when you can create a new life form with nothing but a fossilized eyelash, you know you're a master of genetic engineering. A field I'd love to get more experience in myself.
Told you 1,000 times, Wiz, you're not gonna alter my DNA.
What are you talking about? I would never do that.
Always watching, Wiz. Always.
Growing up in a test tube, Mewtwo's only companions were Fuji's other test subjects, including Amber herself, through some sort of psychic link.
Amber taught Mewtwo about the sun, the moon, tears, and, you know, life stuff. Oh, and also death when she died for good right in front of him.
Worrying this may be too mentally traumatic for the still infant Mewtwo, Dr. Fuji's team erased all memory of her. Unfortunately, this left Mewtwo with a feeling of loss and confusion, and no memories to explain why.
With nothing else to do, Mewtwo decided to take out all his aggression on all of humanity. Then he turned some stupid kid into stone, a bunch of Pokemon cried, and Mewtwo figured out humans aren't so bad after all.
Mewtwo is one
Yeah,
of
that
the
sums
most
up the
powerful
first movie pretty damn
Psychic-type
well.
Pokemon, defeating its foes with the power of its mind.
Alright, wait a
I
minute.
guess
You
it is
keep
specific to
calling him
Mewtwo
it.
from the movie.
Is Mewtwo a guy or a girl?
So yeah.
Well, neither. Technically, it's genderless.
Oh, how does it bang?
It doesn't.
Bummer. Well, one thing's for sure, it's got balls of ghost energy that blow holes in stadiums. Had an onslaught of undodgeable stars, multiple types of defensive shields, and a healing ability for when those shields don't quite cut it.
Alongside its other abilities, Mewtwo's favorite move is Psychic, a powerful form of telekinesis. With it, Mewtwo can effortlessly send enemies as heavy as a 500-pound Onix flying through the air.
He can even make himself fly like a Zubat out of hell.
Also, it can augment its melee combat with psychic energy.
Poking Tournament. I really want that game.
Would you say
Yeah, I
he
still don't have it. I'm
sometimes
broke as
spoons
shit.
his enemies?
No, nothing about Mewtwo is cuddly, especially when it uses Hyper Beam or Psy Strike. Attacks so strong they can incapacitate the toughest of Pokemon in a single hit.
And when trouble comes a-knocking, Mewtwo answers the door with a badass Mega Evolution.
Mewtwo is one of the few Pokemon capable of Mega Evolving without the assistance of a trainer. As Mega Mewtwo Y, it gains enormous boosts in strength, defense, and speed.
Making Mewtwo powerful enough to fly into space while carrying a robot bug monster.
Fast enough to breach escape velocity over 25,000
The Genesect
miles
is not
per hour,
bug type, I
over
believe.
32 times the speed of sound.
So,
Or maybe it
really,
is,
really
I forget.
fast.
Mewtwo is so skilled in its psychic prowess, it can wipe specific memories from dozens of people at once.
On top of all that, it can survive a massive amount of abuse. Like the time it got double impaled by an alien Pokemon's tentacles. Shouldn't they censor that?
It effortlessly defeated most of the Pokemon Champions team, including a legendary Articuno. It also teleported an entire crater lake from the top of Mount Cana. This lake is comparable to a similar body of water in the real world, Lake Kilauea, which holds over 385 million tons of water.
Wow, that's almost enough power to lift my ex-wife on buffet day.
Being a psychic Pokemon, Mewtwo is
The
naturally
ex-wife
weak
jokes
to
are
bug,
back.
ghost, and
Nice.
type damage. Strange Dr. Fuji didn't pull that code out of his DNA, but whatever.
Hey, you gotta have some sort of failsafe when you're making the world's most powerful Pokemon.
Ah yes, the ultimate failsafe is
Yeah.
the most powerful psychic Pokemon. Bugs!
Oh God, it's a Caterpie! Get it away, it's spooky!
I was not born
Babies
a
are
Pokemon, I
adorable,
was created,
as are
and my
Weedles.
creators have used and betrayed me. So, I stand alone.
Oh, I guess speaking of adorable Pokemon, Cutie Fly is adorable. I still want a Cutie Fly when I get some.
Years ago, a brilliant scientist named Professor Gerald Robotnik, the grandfather of Sonic's forever balding nemesis, worked to create a new life form which would change the world.
It was called Project Shadow, a covert government operation to discover the secret to immortality. Besides, like diet and exercise, cause fuck that.
In Professor Gerald's case, specifically for his granddaughter Maria, who was dying as a result of neuroimmune deficiency syndrome.
Now that I think
Scientists
about
like
it,
to save their
Project Shadow is
relatives.
a pretty scary name for a program that's all about curing diseases and saving humanity.
Maybe it has something to do with the program's secret pact with a hive mind alien race called the Black Arms. Perhaps.
Okay. So what do you get when you take immortality, the cure of all diseases, aliens, and put them all together to make the ultimate life form? You get a hedgehog.
Shadow the
Of
Hedgehog
course.
was the first step toward a perfect future. And during his time in Gerald's space laboratory, Shadow and Maria grew very close.
Until they were separated by a bullet. Turns out the governments of the world weren't too fond of all the
That's
evil
Lord.
alien business, so they stormed the place, captured Shadow, and killed Maria right in
us.
front of him. 50 years later, Shadow escaped and decided to take his revenge by just killing everyone. Until he remembered Maria's last words were pretty much, "Don't be a dick," so he changed his mind.
Now on the side of good, Shadow dedicated himself to protecting the world from the forces of evil.
Turns out fighting the bad guys isn't too hard when you've got super strength, super speed, helped along by some awesome rocket shoes, and a bucket of deadly chaos powers.
By channeling the potentially unlimited power of the Chaos Emeralds, Shadow can enhance physical attacks, heal over time, and strike with powerful energy blasts. And with the power of Chaos Control, he can warp through space and distort time, slowing it down to a crawl, or with enough power, freezing it completely.
He's got so much power, he can only contain it all with 2 inhibitor rings around his wrists. Unless he gets all 7 Chaos Emeralds, which he can use to transform into a Super Saiyan Shadow. Super Shadow, yeah. As Super Shadow, he is completely invulnerable, can move at the speed of light, and has unlimited access to the power of the
I guess it's going to be like
Chaos
Vegeta
Emerald.
vs. Shadow,
Enough
where
power
the
to
question is,
stop
can
the space
Mewtwo
colony
survive
collision
how
with
long
Earth,
Super
and
Shadow's
to teleport
around?
a giant comet the size of a city. Assuming this rock is half hollow and using the density of concrete as minimum base, this black comet must weigh at least 915 million tons.
Even without his super form, Shadow is powerful enough to wipe out an entire alien fleet in one blast, fast enough to reach hypersonic speeds, and strong enough to play tug-of-war with a giant space monster who is so big he uses a planet a tenth the size of our moon as a chair. Naturally, when you've got this much power, you're probably a cocky dick.
Yes, Shadow is excessively overconfident in his abilities. Also, he has a terrible memory.
This guy has spent most of his life wondering who the hell he is. And even when he does remember, he usually winds up losing his memories later anyway. To be fair, if I fell from outer space and all I lost were my memories, I'd consider it a really good day. I mean, I lose them from just falling over at the bar.
That's probably not because of the fall. Also, we can't forget that the Super Shadow form only lasts so long.
Then again, when you move at light speed and have control over space and time, who cares about time limits?
Not usually a problem for the ultimate life form.
Many years ago, Professor Gerald Robotnik endowed me with the power of chaos control. A normal creature like yourself doesn't stand a chance against me.
All right, the combatants are set. Let's end this debate once and for all.
It's time for a death battle!
Okay, once again, and like I said before, I'm unsure, so yeah, I think that Mewtwo's best chance is if he could survive long enough for Shadow Super Form to run out, he has a good chance, but I really don't know. So let's get back into it.